Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sherry, I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, Sherry. So, this was the final episode of Raw before Night of Champions, which is still moving forward in Saudi Arabia. We won't get too much into it besides maybe Dominic or AJ, or maybe both of them collectively have decided not to go. It is still likely that Dominic is actually hurt because there is a bug going around. I just actually read before I hit record here that Chad Gable is actually out for an undisclosed amount of time, and he did suffer an injury at some point, and they did the angle between Penta and Chad because, again, he's going to be out for quite some time. So we wish the best to him. Again, if Dominic is actually hurt, we wish the best for him as well. And if they don't want to go, then they don't want to go. It's completely understandable as to why they wouldn't want to go to Saudi Arabia right now with the state of the world, not the stake, the state of the world right now. But overall, the Night of Champions card looks absolutely stacked now that the King and Queen of the Ring finalists are official. I do say it is very funny that now, because at first they were tied, each had 3 title matches, which was, for me, I was like, okay, we let it go. But now it's official, because unless you want to add the King and Queen of the Ring as titles, the crowns as titles, if you will, which is, to me, personally dumb. But there are more title matches on the SmackDown before Night of Champions than Night of Champions itself. It's really, really funny to me. But the other matches that we used to replace AJ and Karrion, and you would assume Liv versus Io, are pretty good substitutes. Karrion is finally getting back in the ring on television, facing Sami Zayn. I really don't know how we go about that, because I do think Karrion needs to win, but Sami has been losing a lot recently, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Really curious to see how that match progresses. But Raquel versus Rhea also got added as well in a street fight. Again, that seems like a lot of fun. Rhea is going to win unless Roxanne helps Raquel get the W, because it does look like we're going to do the what goes around comes around story when it does come to Liv, and how we can just naturally change her to babyface, kind of like we did with Rhea. You can correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am, but I do believe Rhea also got taken off television due to a shoulder injury, or it was definitely within the arm, for sure. And she is, and that's how she got injured due to Liv. Now, Roxanne did not injure Liv, but she did get a shoulder injury, and I would assume she is in a sling right now. Roxanne is slowly trying to put her way into Raquel to be the new tag team champions, which I do think is what we should do. We should do the Bianca and Naomi thing. And then, she takes Raquel. And, now she's being super nice to Dominic. Well, she was always being super nice to Dominic. And then maybe she takes over that. And then maybe when Liv comes back, she is a bigger baby face due to all the stuff on it. It is karma. She gets what she deserves. And then maybe, with Rhea being involved in the storyline somehow, I don't think necessarily I need Rhea and Liv to be the tag team champions, although I really wouldn't be surprised if that's the Mania 42 match. But I do think they could come to an understanding and alliance and, forgive each other for all the pain that they have put themselves through. And yeah, we could do a big tag match with those 4, because Raquel, you abandoned me. You were my best friend. Roxanne, you took my boyfriend, and now I want to beat you up. Yes, I did that to Rhea, but Rhea understands where I'm coming from, and she sees that I've changed. I think there's a lot of opportunities that we can be there. Now that Roxanne is out of the Queen of the Ring tournament, because she did lose to Jade, I really thought we would do an all-Raw main event, or all-Raw Queen and an all-SmackDown King, which we did get. And I do still think Asuka is going to win Queen of the Ring. It's just really hard to book Jade to lose. Because I really just don't see how SmackDown is going to win both. Because on paper, and right now with how it's booked, I do have Jade and Cody going over. Like, that seems like what makes the most sense, right? Now that, it's official, whoever wins the King of the Ring will face the WWE champion at SummerSlam, whether that be John Cena or CM Punk. it's going to be John Cena. So therefore, the SummerSlam main event is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, because we already had one last time between Randy Orton and John Cena. Queen of the Ring, you either get Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton or Nia Jax. It's going to be Tiffany Stratton, because I don't think Naomi cashes in yet. And there's a lot of opportunities that you can do there with that SummerSlam match, including with Naomi. Does Naomi cash in on Tiffany, the girl who caused her the title last year, who had that briefcase? There is some irony within that. Or does she cash in on Jade, who, who's her biggest rival right now? Or if Bianca's good to go, do you do Tiffany versus Bianca? And then that causes a whole other shift of storylines as well. But there is also Io versus Asuka, which I do think is the best plan to go through at SummerSlam. Yes, there are other ways that we can get to it. But yeah, the Queen of the Ring finals just has a lot of intrigue to me. Like, I really can't call who's going to win, which is how it should be. The King of the Ring final, it is pretty obvious to me who wins. Part of me does think maybe Sami Zayn should have gone over. But I do like the idea that this final, with Randy losing again, is the catalyst that makes him go heel. And then, we do Orton versus Cody with proper face and heel tendencies post SummerSlam when Cody gets the title back, because Cody's going to get the title back at SummerSlam. For sure, because I do think that's when Cena's going to go through his transition period to going back to being babyface. Good main event overall between Cody and Jay. I like how both the crowd cheered for both. No one really got booed. It was just, high energy, a lot of fun. I really don't get the notion that Jey Uso can't wrestle. If you have multiple partners that you wrestle good with, not all of them can be carrying you, right? Like, it takes two to tango no matter what. He's had good matches with Braun Breaker. He's had good matches with Gunther. He's had good matches with Sami Zayn. He's had good matches with Roman. He has good matches with Cody Rhodes. That's like 5 partners. And you can't just go and say, well, Jay's the lesser wrestler of the two. It doesn't matter. He still was able to hang with the likes of those talent. I'm just really sick of seeing that online constantly, and also within friend groups that I am in as well. It was a really good main event. Roxanne versus Jade was questionable to me, and I caught myself being very critical of it. I didn't understand why I was so critical of it, because I am a fan of both of them. But I mean, sloppy is the bad. It's not the right word, and botches is a word that I'm not a huge fan of either. But the selling just wasn't there, and I guess it was just a little janky. It was a little wobbly, and it sometimes two people just don't click. And I do think if they had another match later on, I think they would have a good match. But yeah, me, who can usually, as any match is just fine, I'm like, yeah, that was a good fight. That one just didn't live up to what I was expecting at the time. I thought it was a little bit, I don't want to say, but yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a hot mess. Bayley versus Becky was fun too. Lyra getting involved. I don't see why she ran out to begin with, to be honest with you. But hey, we got to set up that triple threat match for Evolution. It was fun for while it was on. I had a good time with it. Rusev versus Sheamus is moving forward. I would assume that's going to be at Saturday night's main event. Ludwig Kaiser being in the background with Chad Gable getting jumped. I wonder what that means. Since Chad Gable is now going to be written off TV, is Ludwig going to try to insert himself in with an American Made? I don't know. Could be pretty interesting. I will wait and see how that goes. But yeah, overall, this episode of Raw was fine. It got me a little more excited for Night of Champions, despite all the controversy around it. Again, I'm looking forward to the street fight. For sure. I wasn't a huge fan of the table spot, because now we're having one every single week, and I don't know why we need to do a table spot when the Slim Jim logo is in the center of the ring. On SmackDown, I somewhat get it, but on Raw, it's there. We don't need to showcase it all the time. But I am looking forward to the street fight. Karrion versus Sami, I am looking forward to. I am looking forward to that U.S. title match. I'm looking forward to the whole entire card, really. Randy versus Cody, even though the winner is obvious. Jade and Asuka is very intriguing, because, again, I can't call it right now. My gut says Asuka, but my brain says Jade. And then, of course, John Cena versus CM Punk. I'm just going to be a kid in the candy store. That was my rivalry growing up, and I am just happy that I'm going to be able to see it one last time. World Tag Team title shot. Just gave it to Judgment Day, and it is what it is, but find the funny segment when they were like, "You're gonna have a match." A match! That was so funny to me. Really, really cracked me up. But yeah, again, overall, I had a good time watching. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But I am looking forward to Night of Champions, which I guess is the overall goal of this episode. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to do a review on SmackDown, especially with the quick turnaround to Night of Champions. Because usually the go-home SmackDown episodes before a PLE don't perform well because, again, the PLE itself is on Saturday, so I really don't see the need to do it. Again, if anything special comes out of it, I mean, we have 3 title matches. I would assume Cena and Punk talk one more time, and then I would assume Orton and Cody talk, which, again, the SmackDown seems really, really stacked for it. So I might have to do a review because I do think there's going to be some talking points to talk about, but we will see. But no promises that there will be a review of SmackDown this week, due to the performances that it usually takes, but we will be doing a review on Night of Champions, so make sure you hit that subscribe button for that. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it, and again, next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.